Okay, quick talk. Have you ever picked up your phone just to check a quick notification, only to realize that 30 minutes, sometimes an entire hour, has disappeared? You had something important to do. Maybe you were supposed to study, reply to an email, cook, clean your room, or finally work on that habit you've been delaying. But somehow, you ended up stuck in an endless doom scroll, watching random videos, memes, or reels that you don't even remember afterward. And the wild part? You didn't plan any of this. You just opened your phone for 5 seconds and suddenly your brain feels foggy and drained. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you're not alone. Social media apps are built to do exactly that. Hijack your attention, pull you into a loop, and make it almost impossible to focus on what actually matters. But here's the surprising truth. What if I told you that you could train your brain to break out of this trap? What if your focus isn't broken at all? It's simply being overwhelmed, overstimulated, and rewired by the constant noise around you. In this video, we're diving deep into how social media affects your brain, why the addiction feels so real, and most importantly, how you can escape the trap and regain true mental clarity. The social media trap. How you got here. Let's rewind for a moment. Try to remember the last time you got distracted. Maybe you were working on something important or trying to read a book. Then suddenly, ding, a notification pops up. It could be a message, a reel, a trending post, or sometimes it's not even a real notification. It's just that itch to check your phone because your brain is craving something new. You open the app just for a second, right? But then your mind goes, oh, what's this video? What's happening in the comments? Who posted this meme? Let me check one more thing. And before you know it, you've fallen into a rabbit hole that was designed specifically for you. There's a reason this happens. It's not because you lack discipline or motivation. It's not because you're lazy. It's because social media platforms use something called the dopamine feedback loop. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that makes you feel pleasure, excitement, and curiosity. Every like, every comment, every new post, even the vibration of a notification creates a tiny hit of dopamine in your brain. Over time, your brain gets conditioned. It learns that boredom, stress, or even mild discomfort can be instantly replaced with a dopamine rush just by tapping an app. And the more this happens, the more your brain craves the quick reward. So you keep coming back. The loop becomes incredibly simple. Feel bored, pick up the phone, scroll, feel rewarded, repeat. Eventually, your brain becomes wired to chase quick hits instead of long-term satisfaction. And that's where the real problem begins. The impact of constant distraction. It's easy to think social media is just a habit, but constant digital stimulation actually changes your brain at a deeper level. When you jump from video to video, or from app to app, your brain never stays still long enough to enter deep focus. It's like trying to read a book while someone taps your shoulder every 10 seconds. This constant switching weakens your attention span. You start feeling restless more quickly, tasks feel harder, your mind wanders faster, you open your phone without thinking, and you struggle to sit with one thing for too long. And it's not just focus that suffers. Your productivity drops because multitasking is mentally exhausting. Your memory weakens because your brain stops deeply processing information. You begin comparing your life to filtered online versions of other people's lives, which increases stress, insecurity, and sometimes even anxiety. But the good news is this. Just like your brain can be trained into distraction, it can also be trained out of it. Recognizing the addiction, the first step to rewiring your brain is recognizing how deep the habit goes. If you check your phone without realizing it, or if you feel uncomfortable when you're away from social media, that's a sign your brain is dependent on dopamine hits. Try observing yourself for a day. Notice when you reach for your phone. Notice what triggers it. Is it boredom, stress, loneliness, or just routine? Sometimes the hardest part is admitting that scrolling has become a way to escape from tasks we don't want to face. But once you're aware of the pattern, you gain the power to change it, reducing dopamine dependency. Now, to break free from this cycle, you need to gently retrain your brain to enjoy slower, more meaningful rewards again. That means reducing your exposure to quick dopamine spikes. One simple shift is turning off unnecessary notifications. When your phone stops buzzing every few minutes, your brain stops anticipating the next hit. Another trick is switching your phone to grayscale mode. It might sound strange, but when your screen loses its bright colors, apps instantly become less tempting. You can also set small limits for yourself. For example, instead of opening Instagram every time you feel bored, pause for 10 seconds, then 20, then 30. This tiny delay rewires your brain to not chase the instant reward. Over time, those urges lose their power because you are building a stronger sense of self-control. Replacing scrolling with purposeful activities, here's something interesting. Quitting social media cold turkey rarely works. If you remove scrolling but don't replace it with something else, your brain will panic and run right back to the apps. The key is to fill that gap with activities that actually strengthen your focus. Reading is one of the best replacements because it forces your mind to slow down and stay present. Journaling is another powerful tool. It helps you process thoughts, reduce mental noise, and reconnect with yourself. Physical exercise is a natural dopamine stabilizer. And learning a skill, whether it's playing an instrument, cooking, sketching, or coding, trains your brain to enjoy longer, deeper tasks again. The goal isn't to fill your entire day with productivity, but just to give your brain healthier alternatives that feel rewarding. Training your brain for deep work. Once distractions are reduced, you can start rebuilding your ability to focus. Deep work is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. One simple method is the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of full concentration followed by a short break. This structure gives your brain enough time to enter focus mode without overwhelming it. Single tasking is another game changer. Instead of juggling multiple activities, focus on doing one thing at a time. When your brain stops switching tasks every few seconds, it conserves energy and performs better. Even small habits, like keeping your phone in another room while working, create a massive difference. Your environment matters more than you think. When distractions aren't physically near you, your brain calms down and slips into flow much more easily. Setting boundaries with social media. Here's the truth. You don't have to quit social media completely. You just need to take control of it. Instead of opening apps randomly throughout the day, give yourself dedicated windows of time, maybe 30 minutes in the evening or a quick check-in during lunch. When you control the timing, the apps lose their grip. You can also unfollow accounts that drain your energy or make you feel insecure. Curate your feed so that it actually supports your goals instead of hurting your mental peace. And always go into social media with intention. Ask yourself, why am I opening this app right now? What am I looking for? When you use social media intentionally rather than mindlessly, your relationship with it becomes healthier and much easier to manage. Rewiring your reward system. Your brain is constantly looking for signs of progress. The more you celebrate small wins, the more your brain learns that focus is rewarding. Try tracking how many hours you stay distraction-free. Reward yourself with something you genuinely enjoy when you finish a focused work session, not with more scrolling, but something healthier, like a walk, a treat, or a moment of relaxation. Sharing your progress with a friend or accountability partner also helps because it reinforces the positive behavior. Every time you choose to focus instead of picking up your phone, you strengthen neural pathways that support discipline and clarity. The change won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Little by little, you will start to feel more in control. Final thoughts. Take back control. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep living in distraction mode, jumping from notification to notification, constantly overwhelmed, constantly overstimulated. Or you can step back, breathe, and decide that your attention is too valuable to give away so easily. You don't need to eliminate social media from your life. You just need to reclaim your power over it. Start with one small change today. Maybe turn off a few notifications. Maybe put your phone in another room during work. Maybe replace 10 minutes of scrolling with 10 minutes of reading. As you do this, you'll notice something amazing. Your mind will feel clearer, your focus will feel stronger, your motivation will return, and slowly, you'll realize that your brain wasn't broken at all, it was just overwhelmed. With the right habits, the right boundaries, and the right mindset, you can rewire your brain and regain full control of your focus. Your attention is your superpower. Protect it, train it, and watch how your entire life changes.